Yes, guys, welcome to Box to Box Football. And we're going to talk about an interesting one right now. And we're going to talk about Jorginho. He recently finished third in the Ballon d'Or votings after coming off a great year with Chelsea and Italy, winning the Euros with Italy and obviously winning the Champions League and the Super Cup with Chelsea also. We shouldn't forget that. But he has been getting a lot of slander, and not just by Twitter, not just by the football world, but even us. Jorginho is a midfielder that it's rather you love him or you hate him. I don't know, and I've got to a point where when he first came to Chelsea, I was like, what is he? Like, I get it, he keeps the ball well, but he isn't as athletic. He isn't box to box. He physically, when he doesn't have the ball, isn't that great. I didn't feel like he moved the balls forward as well as other midfielders would do. But I've got to a point where I'm beginning to start warming to Jorginho. He isn't going to be like every other midfielder. He isn't going to be a Steven Gerrard, a Luka Modric type guy. He isn't going to be a guy that you watch and you automatically see his effect on the game. But he does have a huge effect on the game. And I'm just going to ask myself, Jack. Yeah, he did finish third in the Ballon d'Or voting. He's getting, and the reaction is a bit lukewarm when we all look at it overall. But we got to ask ourselves, Jack, is Jorginho underrated? Because Jack, let me just bring up some some stats right now. In the Champions League, he was number one in tackles and interceptions. He was second in balls recovered. He was number one in the successful passes, and a big one for me when I'm talking about him going box to box distance cover. Jack, he was second as a midfielder, which is quite unbelievable. Which is quite impressive. And then you take it over to his Euro stats. He was number one in interceptions, second in balls recovered, number one in distance covered, second in completed passes, second shots created. He was second overall, and fouls won, he was number one. So Jack, these are not average stats here. These are some quite impressive stats overall, and things that I would complain that he doesn't do well. The stats show that he is quite high in it. So we just gotta ask ourselves, Jack, are we underrating Jorginho overall?
Well, I think you made a point at the beginning there, which I kind of turned my nose up to a little bit, because I want to defend you and me here a little bit. I don't think it's slanderous to say that Jorginho is not a top 3 player in the world. I don't think that's slander at all. I just think that's fair. I'm not telling you he's one of the 3 worst players in the world. I'm just telling you that I think I could pick 3, maybe 10, maybe even 15, 20 players better than him. I think in his position, we're definitely talking about top 5, definitely a top 10, probably a top 5 player in the world right now. What I didn't like though, James, was the narrative and the rhetoric around just being the common denominator for success, right? That's what I don't like. It just proves it's laziness, in my opinion. If you're not actually watching football and you're not actually seeing what somebody brings to a team and you're not seeing what they do, there are some things that happen in football that there isn't a statistical category for. I personally don't feel like I'm underrating him. I think he is a great top, really, really top level midfielder. But do I think he was worthy of third in the Ballon d'Or? No, absolutely not. And just to kind of back up a couple of your stats there, because I do agree with you. This is incredibly impressive. I think this is mainly just for their respective teams so far this year. Rodri has more tackles, but it's only by 2. I'm comparing him to Marco Verratti here, Luka Modric, Fabinho, so he's in really, really good company. In terms of tackling against dribblers, he's bottom of those of these 5. So when people are actually dribbling at him, and they can get round him a lot easier than any of those 4 other names, even a 35-year-old Luka Modric. But to his credit, he's top of pressures with 220. None of the other guys even hit 200. Blocks, he's second. Interceptions, he's top with 25, but only by 1 compared to somebody like Fabinho. So again, I think that to some people, maybe he's still underrated. And maybe those are to people who you really want those kind of, a midfielder that's going to score loads of goals and get loads of assists, and maybe that'll be your guy. He does the ugly part of the games well, and I think that he doesn't get a lot of notoriety to that. But I'm not ready personally to bend the knee to Jorginho and say that this is the best midfielder in the world today, and oh my God, he was definitely deserving of a top 3 Ballon d'Or position. I'm just not ready to say that yet. Top 5, sure, maybe on an off day, top 10 if you're catching me at the wrong day. But I do just feel like there are better and more talented players across world football in his position at the moment.
The Ballon d'Or voting and the fact that people wanted him to actually win it is what made people believe that he's overrated.
Right,
so Jack. When you look at football,
I don't think he's overrated. Yeah,
yeah. But you look at football. Football to me is an easy and simple game, and the thing about Jorginho is that he does the easy and simple things well.
Half the battle, mate, isn't it?
Really? He isn't going to be a Steven Gerrard. He isn't going to be a Xavi Hernandez. Like type of midfielder where he's he's dictating and like you see his impact on the game. He can blow like he can literally blow by you. Oh, Jorginho hasn't played, but Jorginho's making everything tick. You know, there's a reason why like he started for Italy over players like Marco Verratti. Verratti didn't play all the time, but the reason why, because Jorginho was a must in that team. Chelsea now, I do believe Kante had a bigger impact overall than Chelsea.
I agree.
To me, he had like Jorginho had a huge overall impact in the team. Jorginho is never going to be the midfielder that I enjoy. The fact that sometimes
Kovacic on his day, in my opinion, is a better player than Jorginho on his day. He doesn't have those days very often, but I think that Kovacic on his day is a better player than Jorginho. Mason Mount won Player of the Year. Now, yeah, he's English academy. I know there's bias there. I'd still probably take Jorginho over Mason Mount.
I feel like Mason Mount had overall year. Mason Mount had the best year for Chelsea overall.
But again, to the point, if we're talking about him being kind of underrated, I would say that if that's your view, then I'd say we've got him about right. You know, this is not somebody I feel that's saying he's a top 5, maybe top 10 central midfielder. I don't think that's a criticism. I think that's about right, you know?
But Jack, I think with the Ballon d'Or voting, the biggest thing for me that I take from that, people look back at some of the greatest midfielders who never really got a mention, like a Sergio Busquets, who has been sensational for Barcelona throughout the years. He never got a top 3 vote at all.
Right.
Xavi Hernandez never won it. Iniesta never won it. We can go into what's another Pirlo, for instance. All these top midfielders who never got that sort of recognition, the way people are mentioning.
Yeah, Scholes, Lampard, Gerrard, those 3 guys, right?
Like the list goes on. But the thing about it is that one thing I realized is that it's not Jorginho's fault. He played in this season where he was arguably one of the best midfielders. Yet the midfielders doesn't have the names of what we had in the past, but he contributed at a high level. And who are we to say that he doesn't deserve an opportunity? Like, Jack, when you are that successful, when you help a team the way they did, I'm not saying he deserved to win it, but he definitely deserves recognition, and I can understand why he gets the recognition for that.
For sure. But again, it goes back to the same conversation. If we're doing it based on every position is created equal and every position has value, then we need to know, out of all the players who performed their position the best, who was the one who was truly outstanding from the rest of the pack, and that'll give it. And you and I both agree on this, I'm pretty sure. There is more value to a top level striker than there is a top level fullback. Now, this is just part and parcel of the game. You're always going to have greater value in certain positions over other positions. I hate it. Trust me. I'm not a forward when I play. I'm not a winger. I'm not a striker. You know, I play a little bit more of a defensive midfielder side of the game, or maybe I am back in defense. So trust me, I hate it when the attackers get all the credit, because I think, you know, we've seen over the years, there have been some people who are just generational, unbelievable talent who maybe didn't get the true recognition they deserve. And we are, unfortunately, James, in the TikTok internet era where all people have the, you know, time span for, the attention span for, is to be able to watch Erling Haaland run like an idiot and score 50 goals, right? Mbappe, zoom past somebody and score 50 goals. These are going to be the Ballon d'Or candidates of the future. It's not going to be central midfielders. That's, unfortunately, it's not sexy. What can I say? It's not sexy.
Well, I feel like the easiest thing is it's easy to destroy. It's hard to create.
Yes,
that's
right.
That's the biggest thing there. But guys, let us know. Is Jorginho underrated or is he overrated with the Ballon d'Or voting, guys? Please comment down below. This is Box to Box Football, and we will see you. next time.